Kyron Williams for me is my top tier running back by far. Now you've got Barkley going back to MetLife and East Rutherford going up against the Giants. Very interesting spot. Very interesting spot. I absolutely love Kyron Williams this week. Throw it on the board, Jordan. That my top tier running back is far and away Kyron Williams right now.
No pushback. He checks basically every box, even though he's expensive. You got the Dusty Raiders. This guy gets targets. This guy gets carries. He's 20 touch volume seemingly every week. How about, I mean, this isn't, but finally, Bijan did some stuff. Finally. You think this is the start of the return of Bijan Robinson to a top tier running back, or was that a flash in the pan? Because he's at home against Seattle. He had 15 carries. He had 4 targets. The only difference between that and all his mediocre games was he happened to score twice, but he did in fact score twice.
I'm good. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm very little interest in a guy like Bijan Robinson this week.
I have a lot more
Algier had
interest than you do.
18 for 105.
So
Why do I want to try and figure that split out? They were huge favorites. They rolled Carolina.
that's to me a good thing.
To me, it's not. To me, I would just rather pay an additional 1,000 to get to Kyron, who's playing 90% of snaps every week. He has zero competition in the backfield. A guy in Saquon Barkley, yes, he's coming off a bad game, no doubt about it, but he's getting all of the running back opportunities in that offense. Like if Jonathan Taylor's back, Trey Sermon's been terrible. I would take Jonathan Taylor against Miami 10 times out of 10 over Bijan Robinson. As a matter of fact, I think Joe Mixon in his second game back, I would take him against Green Bay over Bijan. So yeah, we have very different views on this one this week.
That's fine. And listen, I want to be clear. Kyron is awesome. I'm not going to push back, but I'll go with Bijan just to change it up.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I feel like I got lucky on not lucky on Bijan. We took an opportunistic buy low spot. The prices come up. He's up there with. I mean, I'm telling you, I like Jonathan Taylor if he's good to go this week. I love Kyron. I have some interest in Barkley. I probably get to less of him though. Even Mixon, I think, gets back to where Damian Pierce sees a lot less opportunities, but he's not my top guy. It's stacked above 7K this week, man.
Oh yeah. Definite good options. And this does start to allude back immediately to what you were saying about quarterback. Like maybe these are why if you want to double dip at running back, you have to pay down at quarterback. So I get it. We'll see what type of value opens up though. That's always kind of that unknown early in the week.
Man, I assume James Cook plays, but if he doesn't, Ray Davis is 5,200. I like that guy. I bet his over receiving yards at 6.5 yesterday. Ended up with 58 or 55.
It
He
was
just smashed.
yeah, he'll be crazy popular, but he should be.
Oh, and by the way, guys, BOGO, you already know. A lot of you guys came from this show and are hanging out with us. It's been really fun. But if you want to join our Tails platform over in the premium Discord on the Odd Shopper side, use the promo code BOGO, BOGO, buy one, get one. If you grab mine, you get Ben's for free. If you grab Ben's, you got mine for free. It's that simple. We're having awesome NFL seasons in there. Sunday for me wasn't great. Yesterday made it all back and more. We had a great night yesterday. You had an amazing week betting. Plus, it's an awesome community. I hope that those of you who have joined have had a great time and are liking it and want to stick around. But yeah, BOGO, link down there in the description. You'll see it right when you click down there. If you ever wanted to join us, that's how to do it. Buy either Lafayette or Ben's package on Tails, get the other for free. Download the app, set up notifications, get in the Discord. All the bets go there as well. Really good stuff, man. It's been so fun. Plus, it's super cheap. It's very affordable. Where do you go in the mid range?
So, I mean, not even just the mid range, just the whole running back slate. I mean, the whole thing is riddled with Q tags and outs across everything. Um, Chuba. Now the price is coming up. He's 65, but even so, the thing I liked, I always worry with the Panthers, like, well, they're just awful and they're gonna get blown out a lot. So what happens? Apparently nothing. 18 for 92 against Atlanta. The guy can catch targets. He's got 4 or more targets in 5 straight games. I kind of think he's matchup proof and script proof relative to what we're talking about, and I don't fear Washington's defense at all.
I like Chuba this week. Yeah, I do. I also I also think there are two guys that we'll see. I don't even know if Will Levis. I hope gets benched.
Wow.
What a disaster. But Tajay Spears is not going to play this week. Tony Pollard probably gets a huge workload. Not a matchup I love, but also not a matchup I hate. The Bills have allowed more receiving yards to opposing running backs. This is why this is why I laddered that Breece Hall receiving prop yesterday over in Discord. They've allowed more receiving yards, more receptions, more running back targets than any team in the league this year, Ben. 368 yards to running backs already, 41 receptions, 50 targets. They haven't been great at stopping the run either. Gave up another 100 plus to Breece Hall yesterday. Tony Pollard's no Breece Hall, but I think if Tajay Spears is out, you might just see another immense workload for Tony Pollard. If that's the case, I will go right back to him at a low 6K price. Played 74% of the snaps last week. That was with Spears playing 21. Julius Chestnut played 3 snaps. Maybe he plays 15% of snaps in this next game. I like Tony Pollard here. Even if you don't love the matchup, I think the workload is going to be massive.
Don't love the matchup. The workload can negate that. I'm a big Tony Pollard truther. We're not going to talk about Calvin Ridley. Yeah,
he had 8 targets. He had
Yeah.
8 targets in that game.
I had the over. I was with you.
I saw Andy Holloway tweet out all of the targets from that. There was maybe one catchable target among all 8 of them. It was just
It's bad.
atrocious. But look, it's a bad matchup. They're huge dogs in this game. I'm not denying any of that. But what if he's on the field for 80+% of snaps against the Bills team that really has been bad against running backs?
Yeah, and again, Tony Pollard's another dynamic back who, he's not Kamara, but he's not Derrick Henry either in terms of passing upside.
I'm going to make Tony Pollard my mid-range guy.
Yeah,
but
Chuba.
I will throw one more out there for you. It's a shame we can't play Nick Chubb this week at 6K because he's expected back and Jerome Ford is out. And they're facing the Bengals. You can't do it though. There's no chance.
Definitely not.
It's Brian Robinson. If Brian Robinson's back, the only reason I'm not making him my number 1 here, because you better believe I would, is because he's questionable. That's the only reason. If Brian Robinson is good to go and he gets full practices in this week against Carolina, he's far and away my favorite mid-range option, and it wouldn't be particularly close.
Yeah, I mean, he'd have some of the highest touchdown equity on the entire slate. So,
yeah,
not going to push back. They just, the only thing that freaks me out again, it's credit to Washington being good. They don't have to give him the ball as much as they probably thought they needed to. Like Eckler, McNichols, these guys have been very effective when they needed them to be.
They have. Eckler not so much running the football, but yeah.
No, but they have options. That's the only thing that's at times a little frustrating.
They do. That's why I'm saying he needs to be a full go for me to be there. All right, low tier. This is ugly. This is ugly. Really ugly. I have one guy though.
I mean, how low are we talking about?
Sub 6K.
No.
You want me to give you mine first?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have one, so.
If Zamir White is out, I might go to Alexander Madison because of the workload.
Oh.
The Rams defense is really bad.
Oh. Yes, it is.
It's really bad. Look, once we get down here, we're really you're grasping at straws. You're not exactly picking anybody that you love. This is why Andy Dalton to me is viable, because you're not going to have, you probably will have value as it opens up, but at this point of the week, you don't. Madison played 68% of snaps last week. He had a pretty big workload in this game as well. If Zamir White misses again with that groin, and Madison's coming off a 19 touch game against Pittsburgh where he was actually pretty decent, I would go to Madison against the Rams. That defense is bad enough for me to do it.
You have no real options down there, so it's Madison by default, knowing what we know now. It would clearly be, I think, for both of us, Ray Davis
Oh, without question.
if we get news.
I mean, if you want to put Jordan, if you want to put an asterisk, and then like if Zamir White is out, and then you can put Ray Davis if James Cook is out, because
That's fine.
Ray Davis, by the way, at 5,200 is the answer there. Undisputed number one guy. If James Cook is out, it's not close actually.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm saying he'll be the chalkiest play on the slate if everything was
He
the way
will-
it is now and James Cook is out.
He will be the Bucky Irving of this week's slate.
Yep.